Hey guys, thank you for coming back to week 4 of our ESA Facebook challenge, where we'll be learning today about taking action as we learn to eliminate, simplify, strategize, and apply so that we can start living into what matters most. So far, we've been through week 1, 2, and 3. Week 1, we remembered what matters most to us and did our vision boards. Week 2, we talked about eliminating unnecessary distractions and learned to use our weekly planner. Week 3, we talked about simplifying and strategizing and starting to develop our 96-minute rule, which means working insistently for 96 minutes on one task so that we can give a 20% effort towards the 80% of the actions that we need to take. So today we're going to be talking about taking action. First, we're going to be talking about setting up a schedule. Making a plan for taking massive action to reach your goal sometimes sounds pretty straightforward to us, but as we're learning over this process, it really isn't. The reasons usually fall into two categories. First, we want to avoid pain, and that's the big 4-letter word that begins with the F. You know what I'm talking about, fear. So we avoid making the plan because we're scared. We put it off until tomorrow when we could be taking small steps towards success today. Second, it feels safer to stay in the planning and research phase. You can raise your hand because I know some of you fall into that category. Secretly, I do too. Planning and research phase rather than move through that part quickly and start taking action. In both cases, we are trying to protect ourselves from feeling frightened. So making a plan for completing action steps may bring up fears, insecurities, and worry, but please don't let that stop you. Suspend belief if necessary and get started. It's important to have a plan, but it is equally important to set it up and get moving instead of refining and making a quote unquote perfect plan that never gets started. Remember, you need a schedule, but it should be flexible so that there's no need to make it perfect, just make it happen. Because remember, perfection is a myth. So to create a schedule, we need to follow these following steps. Grab your pen and paper so you can take some notes. First, decide on a realistic deadline to achieve your objective. Make sure to give yourself plenty of time so you don't give up before you even get started. Set up a monthly milestone. Break down your objectives into smaller Kaizen chunks that can be completed in 1 month's time. This serves to keep you motivated and moving forward. Draw up a weekly massive action steps list. Each action you plan should be related directly to meeting your goal. After you make your weekly action list, check it against your goal to ensure you aren't getting sidetracked with activities that are of little importance. So remember our roles that we put on top of our weekly schedules. That's going to help us stay focused and help us remember why we're doing the task in the first place. You want to also create a daily to-do list. Remember to prioritize your tasks so that you're sure that you're getting the most important tasks completed first, even if they take a little bit longer than expected. Review your schedule and action steps often so that you can stay on track and stay motivated. Track your actions so that you can quickly see if something isn't working the way you expected it to. That offers you the chance to change that thing that's not working so that you're not wasting a lot of time. And finally, make changes to your plan whenever necessary. Don't worry. And don't keep trying to make something work that is obviously not working, even if it's worked for somebody else. We've talked about this before. Your journey to success might look a little bit different than what the guru said, what your neighbor said, what your sister said, what your aunt said, and that's okay. Doing things your way, as long as you are consistent and it's working, will provide you with the enthusiasm necessary to go for the long haul, which brings big goals and big success, and it's what it requires.
Next, we're going to be talking about journaling and how we can journal our way to massive action. Journaling is not just for little girls. In fact, I created a journal called Not So Random Thoughts that can be found on Amazon right now. Go ahead and go look it up. Journaling can be a powerful weapon in our get it done arsenal, and it's easy to do. You can and should put all kinds of things in your journal. We're going to refer to this journal as a goal journal, not just your thoughts or feelings on a given day, but your goals. Journaling is just one way to track your actions and your success, and yes, even your failures and your setbacks. Because remember, failure is a tool for success. It also keeps your goals right in front of you so you can stay on top of them each and every day. It keeps all of our ideas, revelations, epiphanies in one place so we can go back and review them whenever we want. For example, if you're having trouble getting motivated one day because you feel like you haven't been working hard, or that you've been making little progress, go back into your goal journal, and it's a wonderful way for you to see that the little actions that you've been taking have paid off in a big way. So let's talk about what you should keep in your journal. This is an opportunity for you to get your pen, pencil, and paper out so that we can talk about some ideas that we can put in our journal. You can put your detailed goals, where you write down your exact goal in as much detail as possible. Describe it in a way that makes you feel excited about what your life will be like when you achieve your goal. Write down your why. Your why is the big reason why you want to reach the goal you have defined for yourself. It's the reason you're willing to take massive action steps needed to change your life for the better. Massive action plans and schedule. When you make the plan for how you go about reaching your goal, write it down. Write it down is important so that you can keep track of your efforts, so you can see what actions are creating the most results. This is one of my personal favorite, brain dumps. A brain dump is just a list of actions that you need to take in no particular order. And sometimes it's just easy to get all that stuff out of your head that sometimes makes us confused about where we should start and what we should do next. And so we just write it down in our journal and get all that stuff from out of our head. Lucky for you guys, I'm going to include a free download of the dynamic brain dump task list on the post next to this post of this video. So you get to, you can use that daily, you can use it weekly, however often you need to do your brain dumps to help you get all that build up from out of your head and onto paper. Our next idea is to prioritize. After you do a brain dump, organize the task into a priority list and add them to your daily and weekly to-do list. What do you do with your daily to-do list? You can also write out your to-do list in your journal so that you always have it handy. Any ahas you can add to your journal. As you start taking massive action, you will have inspiration or aha moments when something becomes clear. Capture those ideas in your journal so that you can refer to them later when you're ready to put them in action. And of course, we have our goals, but you also can write freely. And this helps us to better focus on the other things that we need to get done. And it gets the problems and the worries from off of our chest. And it's actually very therapeutic and inspirational. So try that. Next, we're going to be talking about visualization. Visualization is for everyone, despite what you've heard. Thinking differently than you have in the past, moving outside your comfort zone, and trying something new and exciting are all the same steps required to accomplish a big goal and take massive action towards it. Some neuroscientists have proven that our subconscious mind can't tell the difference between physically performing an action and imagining it. Visualization is a way to practice performing the action before you physically do it. It helps you create the outer life you want to live by altering your perception of it via your subconscious mind. It can be used to more easily reach your goals by performing the actions needed in your mind first. Athletes and other performers frequently use visualization to enhance their performance and obtain their ambition. Visualization is easy and it's free and it can be done almost anywhere. There's nothing to lose and everything to gain by trying it. Just follow these simple steps to visualize your way to reaching your goal. Again, you can write these down as well. Find a quiet place where you won't be interrupted. Close your eyes and feel your body start to relax. Next, bring up a picture in your mind's eye of how your life will look when you've accomplished your objective. Really see it in all the detail that you can. Make yourself feel the excitement of living that life. What will you feel? What will you smell, hear when your goal is accomplished? Who will be there? Where will you be? Experience yourself living your dream. After establishing the end result view of your life, slowly move backwards in time to see yourself taking the steps necessary to get to that end result. Experience the ups and the downs you will deal with and see yourself handling each task and obstacle with confidence and joy. Keep moving back in time until you visualize the whole process of reaching your goal. Take as much time as you need so that you are really there, experiencing the feelings and the sensations. When you feel the visualization is naturally complete, slowly come out of the visualization. You should feel refreshed and motivated and ready to accomplish your goals. You don't need to follow a script or see exactly the same scenarios each time you practice for this technique to be effective, but it's important to remember to stay open to exactly how your goal will be accomplished. Allowing things to unfold rather than pushing and forcing them to happen will make the journey to success more enjoyable and smooth. Practice this visualization exercise each day for 5 to 10 minutes to receive the most benefit. And this is in addition to prayer and studying your word. Visualization is a huge key towards taking massive action. Our next way to take massive action is to motivate yourself. Some people assume that taking massive action only needs to happen once to get them started. But you will find that with each new project and each stage in your life, you will need to bump up that action. It's a continuous process. After all, once you reach your first goal, there's going to be another one and another one and another one that you're going to have to tackle and conquer too, right? So how do you keep up with the momentum? There are going to be setbacks and times when you question if the goal is really worth the time and energy that it requires to reach it. When you hit a slump or come up against self-doubt, here are some ways to get back your motivation to continue taking the massive action required to succeed. 1. Hang around like-minded people. We know this, and we've heard this, but we need to start doing it. When you make the decision to go for your goal in a huge way, a big way, you should look for support to help you achieve it. Whether you're learning a new language so that you can travel, or getting more fit, or starting a business, it's smart to hang around others who have the same goal. It's easy now to find people with the same ambitions. You can look online, you can meet people at church, in your local coffee shop, at activities that maybe your kids are a part of. Many times you can find a group who meets regularly to be there for you when you need a boost. We can also look back at what we've already accomplished. Sometimes you may feel like you are working hard but getting nowhere. This can dampen your enthusiasm for sure, but you've done more than you've realized. So go back through your planner and your journal and refresh your memory of all the small steps that you've taken that add up to getting you much more closer to your goals. We also want to break down our task into smaller pieces. Taking big action can be frightening. If you are feeling like you can't deal with a particular action you need to take to move on, try breaking that step down into several pieces. That will make it feel more manageable, and you'll be able to see success more quickly as you check smaller tasks off your to-do list. And finally, use a sounding board. I know I don't have this listed on the screen, but it's okay. Use a sounding board. Talk out what you're stuck on with other people. It's a huge help. Choose one of the people in your support group or even a sympathetic friend or a relative to use as a sounding board. Even if they haven't been through the exact situation before, they will have expected or experienced something similar in their lives enough to empathize with you. They don't necessarily need to give you advice, but rather be there to let you talk through the decisions you are trying to make. Because most of the time, we know the answers already. And then I want you guys to avoid these pitfalls. No matter how many goals that you've already met by using these strategies listed before, there are going to be times when you hit a wall and you aren't sure if you can make it any further. It happens to everyone who thinks big and works to make their dreams come true. But there are common pitfalls that you'll want to watch out for so that you don't sabotage your success in reaching your goal. Right? We get so deep in our project that we just feel overwhelmed. You start to see just how challenging it's going to be or how long it's going to take. Feeling overwhelmed can really set you back. So keep an eye out for it. If you start to feel it, take a break, revisit your goal and objectives, and then plan out just a few of the next action steps you need to take. Overwhelm usually happens when you are focused on the long term. So bringing yourself back to what you need to do right now can be very helpful. Some goals take longer to reach. Even when you are consistently taking massive action, you may feel at times that you will never reach your goal, that you just don't have the stamina to keep up the hectic pace or the patience to see it through. When this happens, consider what your life would be like if you just gave up. Obviously, you think your life will be much better if you reach your goal, or you wouldn't have started in the first place. So, often by looking at the life that you are striving for versus the life you will go back to if you give up is enough to put some starch back into your shirt or some pep into your step. Even the most self-confident person has moments of self-doubt. When self-doubt creeps its little head in, it's a good time to check in with your support team or your friends who are behind you all the way. Get with them, tell them your concerns, and of course your fears, that four-letter word, and let them be your cheerleader. If you don't have access to a supportive friend or family member or a group, or if you're too self-conscious to tell anyone about your fears, journal it. Journal your feelings. Without even trying, you can often get to the root of what's causing the issue or see how silly you're being doubting yourself just by journaling. So I want to thank you guys. This is our final broadcast for our 4-week ESA Facebook challenge where we learn to eliminate, simplify, strategize, and apply. I thank you guys for taking the time and put in the effort to do the work. I hope you had your own ahas and your own epiphanies. And I thank you guys for journeying with me through this process. As a gift to you guys, I'm going to give you the dynamic brain dump task list where you can just write down all your tasks and how you will accomplish them. You can print as many sheets as you need to. It's a free download, and I'll add that onto the Facebook stream. And again, I thank you guys for participating in the 4-week ESA Facebook challenge. And remember, don't wait until tomorrow. Do something dynamic today.